PNC News First is presented by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank. Pizza Hut, we're taking pizza to where it's never been before. Taco Bell, the only place where you live Moss. Colgate, the #1 brand recommended by dentists. And IT&D.
PNC News First, broadcasting live in high definition from Tumon, Guam, on KEQI and KTGM, and on KPPI on Saipan. Here is your PNC News Team.
Half a day and good evening. You're watching PNC News First. We are live from the Broadcast Center at Akanta. I'm Jolene Tovis. Thanks for tuning in. Topping our newscast tonight, the Federal Bureau of Investigation executed several search warrants on Saipan this morning, including one at the office of CNMI Governor Ralph Torres. PNC's Kevin Kerrigan reports.
FBI Honolulu Special Agent Jason White has confirmed that the FBI executed several search warrants in Saipan this morning.
We did execute several search warrants on in the CNMI today. The FBI did, and as far as anything other than that, we're not going to comment at this time.
So you can't say what it's in reference to then?
No. We're, just for the sake of the investigation, we're not going to comment at this time.
Agent White declined to provide any further details about where those search warrants were executed or what the FBI was looking for. But a statement issued by the CNMI Governor's Office confirms that Governor Ralph Torres' office was served with at least one of the search warrants. The Office of the Governor received a search warrant and is currently being inspected by federal agents, states the release this morning from the Governor's office. It goes on to say that the Governor's office is fully cooperating with the investigation and is confident that any resulting findings will see that there is no reason for concern. The Governor's office respects the process and will provide additional information as it becomes available, concludes the statement. Although the FBI has declined to say just who and what they are investigating, privately, some officials in the CNMI point to the Chinese-owned Imperial Casino Resort. According to a February 2018 article in Bloomberg News, when the casino was still operating out of a storefront before its grand opening, it was handling $2 billion a month in bets, more than any high-flying casino in Macau or Las Vegas. That prompted speculation about the possibility of money laundering. The Bloomberg report alleged that members of Governor Torres' family have made millions of dollars through various business deals with Imperial Pacific. Torres and Imperial Pacific have denied any impropriety. Sources in the CNMI have confirmed for the Pacific News Center that the law office of Governor Torres' brother was also served with a search warrant, as well as the office of Viola Alupuyo, who is the legal counsel for Imperial Pacific. Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News First.
In local news, Superior Court Judge Anita Sokola showed some mercy today to the first DOC officer she has sentenced in the 2017 contraband conspiracy case at the island's prison. Former DOC officer Shane Cruz pled guilty 1 year ago to criminal facilitation and official misconduct, admitting to his role in the conspiracy to smuggle drugs and other contraband into DOC. In court today, he was given a suspended 3-year sentence. Judge Sokola placed Cruz on 3 years of probation. She noted that he has no history of prior criminal activity and he was the lowest ranking officer in the case. Sokola told Cruz that she was giving him the same deal being given to other individuals in the case whose offenses are greater than his.
Shane, would you like to make a statement regarding your sentencing? You're the first to be sentenced in this case.
Nope. Cruz told Sokola that he brought drugs into DOC for an inmate on 3 occasions under the direction of his immediate supervisor, Furman Maritita. Maritita and former Internal Affairs head honcho Jeff Limo both pled guilty to official misconduct as a misdemeanor. The drug charges against them were dropped. In other news, after the Mayor's Council of Guam Executive Director made it known that he wants Jotnya Mayor Jesse Blas ousted from office, the head of the Commission on Decolonization has also made it clear he wants Blas removed from the commission. Commission Executive Director Melvin Juanpat Borja had issued a memo addressed to Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, Speaker Tina Muñoz Barnes, and MCOG President Melissa Suarez, and MCOG Executive Director Angel Sablan, requesting Blas's removal from his post as commission member representing the Mayor's Council. Ostensibly, Juanpat Borja said he wants Blas removed for failing to attend 3 consecutive regularly scheduled board meetings. Blas is, of course, currently detained and facing federal extortion charges. According to Juanpat Borja, based on Blas's attendance record, he is now disqualified to continue serving in his position. He is now asking the Mayor's Council to enact a replacement so as not to allow Blas's continued absence to impede on the work of the Decolonization Board. Public health officials say they have not received any reports from either Guam Memorial Hospital or Guam Regional Medical City that would account for the increase in emergency room visits that have clogged both facilities this week. Officials at both GMH and GRMC have reported an uptick in flu cases, but territorial epidemiologist Dr. Ann Pobutsky said she can't point to any single cause for the increased number of visits to island emergency rooms. Still, both Dr. Pobutsky and Public Health Director Linda DeNorsi emphasized the importance of visiting your family physician and getting immunized.
You know, there's a cold going around, there's flu, you know, it could be any or all of that. But
nothing been reported so far.
Well, no, and you know, we've seen kind of the downswing of the dengue cases, but we're still seeing a lot of suspects. But most of them in the past couple of weeks have been negative, so it could be also people are clogging up the ER with that too.
People need to get into their primary care provider and get their immunization shots for influenza and if they're older, pneumococcal vaccines. These are very critical, especially those that are the elderly that are highly susceptible to being infected.
Both GMH and GRMC reported that their emergency rooms were full at certain times this week. A shortage of nurses to care for admitted patients has aggravated the backlog of patients waiting for care in the emergency rooms. A 15-year-old girl walked into the Hagåtña precinct last February, telling officers that she had been sexually assaulted, but it wasn't until this month that the suspect was apprehended. She named Solange Raponi Jr. as the perpetrator. Her complaint states that the sexual assaults included the minor being touched inappropriately every other day since the girl was 8 or 10 years old. She also told police that Solange made her touch him inappropriately. The girl says that she received a message through Instagram reportedly sent by Solange on her 13th birthday in 2017, apologizing to the minor for what he had done to her in the past. That message, however, was deleted and went unreported. Police say that when they tracked down the suspect, he denied the allegations. He was arrested on charges of first-degree criminal sexual conduct and second-degree criminal sexual conduct. He was booked and confined. In other news, in order to address issues and identify areas of improvement, the Guam Department of Education met with representatives from several Micronesian student organizations. PNC's Amanda Dedicatoria has more.
During their second meeting this year, representatives from multiple high school Micronesian student associations met with several island officials to discuss shortfalls within the education system. According to an assessment from the FSM consulate, more students from their island nations were taking advantage of financial aid as well as going to college, rather than Micronesian students who were already residing on Guam. Concerning this, GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez says that many of the students cited factors hindering access to higher education, including dealing with financial aid and college application forms that are only in English.
You know, what the kids are telling us is that they would fill everything out. Then they get to the section that says, what are your parents' incomes, right? And there's that was one of the issues. You know, how do I tell my parents, you know, this is the, you know, we need this information. How do my parents go to their employers to get the necessary information? Are employers being cooperative in providing the paperwork that's needed?
These accessibility issues become increasingly important, given that Senator Amanda Shelton's Bill 225-35 aims to require all public high school seniors to fill out the free application for federal student aid. To address this, Fernandez says that GDOE is considering getting high school students in touch with those attending college.
And since they had more recent experience in the application process, be able to really give them some easy, quick guidance to how to overcome those barriers, overcome those obstacles.
Amanda Dedicatoria, PNC News First.
GDOE will be working with the FSM consulate to provide access to scholarships that students may be eligible for. Well, don't go away just yet. After the break, we'll look into the latest on the Marshall Islands adoption scandal, the circus opening this weekend, and more.